Howdy, 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 my name's Sasuke. Welcome back to Let's Play the Hiveswap Friendship Simulator. So, apologies for this not happening on Monday. I seem to be in the middle of a heat wave. The heat wave is actually still happening as of recording this video. There's just a very, very small gap in the heat wave where it's not going to be 90 degrees until noon. So, I'm going to record this as I can. And as far as the rest of the week, I don't know how this is going to work for two kinds. So, that being said, I do seem to have sniffles for some reason, so if I'm sniffling or sneezing a lot during this episode, I apologize for that. I was inclined to wait until I'm not sniffly sneezy anymore to do this, but I don't trust the weather to let me have another chance. So this is going to be volume 9. Or at least part of it. Whoa, what? Part of you has always been taken with the idea of purchasing a one-way train ticket to anywhere and boarding it without looking back. Or in your current case, stoning away without looking back. Details. The idea had always seemed so idyllic. No strings, no obligations, just you and your journey, the wind in your hair, and the taste of freedom on your lips. Your little daydream didn't exactly involve careening across a perilous extraterrestrial landscape, but then you've always liked to think of yourself as the kind of person who's open to new experiences, not to mention new friends! In practice, though, this tastes much less like freedom and more like noxious muck, which is what you're currently surrounded by. Ugh. It's not unlike the slime that was in Skyla's Recuperacoon, except this slime was weird. That slime was weirdly soothing, and this is prickly and burny and uncomfortable. You thought you were being smart by sneaking on board, jumping into some sort of cargo carriage. Oh, how wrong you'd been. The trade-off for not being caught, then maimed and/or killed for your blood color is apparently this. You almost would have preferred the maiming. God knows you're used to taking a beating by now. So over here we have Amicia Erdine? Question mark. Seeing as the Wet Pumpkin can't keep a secret to save their lives, I already know that this isn't the case. But over here, I've not seen anything about this person, although they remind me of both Dragon Ball Z and JoJo. So let's see how that goes. After what feels like way too long, the vehicle slows down and you take the opportunity to tumble out of your slime jail onto the dusty ground, picking yourself up and hurrying away from the station before you can get spotted. A little while later, you're standing at the beginning of a massive canyon and your awful train ride almost feels worth it. The canyon stretches endlessly, miles of yawning chasms and winding ravines at your feet. It's enough to make your mouth hang open in awe. After spending so much time in various grody parts of the city, I did spell grody wrong the other day. The sight of such pristine natural beauty touches your heart. You feel somehow inspired, like you could belt out an aria or draw a masterpiece if you tried. But before you can begin exploring your hidden creative depths, you're distracted by noises coming from not too far away. You're not alone. You know what this means. A chance to get yourself more of that sweet, sweet friendship. After so many successful companionship adventures, you're thirsty for more. You pick up your jaw and go investigate. The sounds lead you towards a trail along the side of the canyon, which in turn leads you down to a roomy platform not that much lower than where you started. There's a series of sharp outcrops jutting out of the plateau, and perched atop the highest one is a figure dramatically framed against the moonlight. At first you think he's peering moodily into the distance, but then you realize he's looking through some kind of contraption on his face. Recording coordinates? Look around, there doesn't seem to be anyone else here. So what you heard was this fellow buttering to himself, you guess? I see. He's so wrapped up in whatever it is that he's doing that he hasn't noticed you yet. This guy has got to be hankering after some company, being all by his lonesome out here in the middle of nowhere. You're sure of it. Let's surprise him. Eagerly you clamber up the side of the rock. Wow, this drop is pretty intense. But it's stuff that you can't handle without plenty of determination and frantic scrambling. You finally make it to the top. You're about to haul yourself up so you can stand, fully ready to introduce yourself and let this guy have it with the geniality. Really show him how amicable you can be. Before you can do that, though, he whirls around in trench coat and long hair, whipping at a wide arc. All your clumsy scrabbling at the rock face must have clued him into your presence. Did you really think you could sneak up on me? His eyes flash. Literally, they flicker from blue to turquoise and back again in quick succession. You don't notice the pure white energy crackling his fingertips until you're already in the air. When Cuprum lifted you up, it was like getting yanked up by the scruff of your shirt. This is smoother somehow. Like you just stepped onto a strong breeze. Doesn't really change the outcome though. You eye the ground below you nervously. Think again! Wait! You weren't engaging in any sneaking around honest, or well, you were, but you didn't mean anything malicious by it. You were just after some quality hangouts. Unfortunately for you, he doesn't seem very moved by your heartfelt entreaty. A likely story. You were looking to gank my data to get a fraud up on the game. Don't try to deny it. You don't know anything about any game, but before you can explain further, you're unceremoniously released. You run through quite the spectrum of emotions as you plunge downward, but the strongest by far is regret. Regrets that you'll emerge from this altercation sans the use of your limbs if you're lucky, but also sans a potential new friend. There was really only one way sneaking up on a Dragon Ball Z wannabe was going to go. So, that's one bad ending out of the way. There's probably a second bad ending, but one good ending. Although the last volume got me differently with that. Blup, 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 friends, blup, 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 blup. Asdaya Knelix. Nelix? It might even not even be Daja or Daya. Let's just go with Asdaya Nelix. Let's not climb up and surprise him and wave and say hello. Sporting your most winning smile, or yeah, sporting, you call out a greeting and will give a jaunty wave. That gets his attention. Well, well, well. Would you look at what the Purbeast dragged in? Are you lost? That depends on your definition of lost. You prefer to think of whatever you're doing as taking the scenic route. Just, like, indefinitely. Your new acquaintance and hopefully soon-to-be pal snorts unimpressed. It'd be better if you did that somewhere else. Better for me, I mean, which is the most important issue currently at hand, let's face it. I still have some preparations to make and I'm running out of time. You're kind of cramping my style here. Preparations? For the game, obviously. Starting any minute now, you have no idea what he's talking about. Seriously? You don't know about dual strifers? Wow. You're even more of an empty-headed plebe than I thought. That's not a very fair thing to say. Sure, you might have made a habit of running headfirst into a stupidly dangerous situation, but that's no reason for him to assume it wasn't drowned out by a crackling sound. He's levitating down from his perch towards you, sparks of energy stirring up the sand into a cloud to check out this Magneto-looking motherfucker. After meeting Sarava and Cuprum, you've come to expect psionic powers from trolls with yellow blood by now, but it still kind of takes you aback. You stumble backwards, falling on your ass. The troll is unbothered by your spill, continuing to address you while you're sprawled to the ground. I'll explain. Dual Strife Risk pits alternate its best and brightest against each other in a timed event designed to reveal the most skilled among the group. Which would be me, of course. That goes without saying. He tells you a bunch of other stuff about game mechanics that, to be honest, goes straight over your head. Whoosh. He's apparently not in enough of a rush that he can't stop what he's doing to outline his plans to use some of random passerby, in a fairly detailed manner at that. He is anime as hell. He seems pleased to have an audience, actually. Wow! This friendship is barely off the ground and you're already doing great. You get back to your feet and nod along sagely, pretending to understand all his rambling about strategy and whatnot. And then he notices a blinking light. It's coming from the screen over his eye. Huh? Interesting. My scouter can't retrieve any data on your species at all. He leans forward and looks at you. Really looks at you. Up until this point, he'd been paying more attention to his own voice and whatever readings he'd been getting on his device, but now he's focused fully on you. Starting to fluster you a little, actually. That is, until his mouth twists into a smirk. You get a glimpse of a single jagged tooth. He is so anime, oh my god. You know, it's technically possible to join in teams of 2. But now you're here. Is he saying what you think he might be saying? Excitedly, you clarify whether he's asking you to join the game as his partner. Ha! Sure, I just love teaming up with clueless nerds like you. No. You'd be a nice element of surprise, though. I could use you as a collateral resource, fodder, a lackey. What do you say? That doesn't sound nearly as flattering. But it's an opportunity to help. And you've founded so many great friendships while doing whatever favors random strangers have wanted you to do for them already. Why stop now? You'll be the best lackey ever. No, you know what? Screw this. You know what? You're better than this. Who does this guy think he is trying to turn you into his minion? Everyone keeps expecting you to be useless, so you're tired of it. You've accomplished great things, you say, stamping your feet, kicking up a real hullabaloo. You're a big deal on your home planet. People practically quiver in their boots when you walk past. And even if you weren't a big deal, even if you were the smallest fly around, you're pretty sure you could take whatever he could dish out. He's just a reedy nerd asshole. Looks like he fell out of the IT department straight into a discount bin of bad Matrix cosplay cast-offs. You have no idea what you're doing. Absolutely nothing you said about yourself is true. You're spitting hot air and pure vitriol, running on the modicum of confidence you built up, bluffing your way through the variety of mishaps you've encountered before now. You throw up your hands when you're done, both out of exasperation and as a kind of ending flourish to your little speech. There's a deafening rumble behind you. When you turn around, it's just in time to see one of the outcrops shudder dramatically to a pile of detritus. Your eyes go wide. Either the rock was already weakened and chose this moment to break, resulting in the best coincidence ever, or you have secret telekinetic powers of your own that you've never known about until now. Whichever it is, it grants your venting session a healthy dose of gravitas. Azda looks at you with a complicated expression on his face, like he's mad at you, but also like you just paid him a really nice compliment. What a brazen proposition. What? Proposition? If you're propositioning anything, it's for him to consider you an equal rather than some kind of sidekick, that's all. Let me tell you something, alien. I've heard things through the spherical fruit string about someone else in my line of work who caused quite a stir recently. Alerts have been blowing up saying a gold-blood girl assassinated a sea dweller. I had reason to suspect she'd show herself here today. I was looking forward to seeing if she's as good as the rumors say she is. A gold-blood girl. That's what the alerts say. But as one of the best mercenaries in the business, I know better. They must have been wearing a disguise. He points a finger at you. You, despite not being of alternate origin, have a record. You showed up here to a dueling session in a rumpus robe and nub stilts. Indicates your flowing gown and heels. Which could easily be another disguise to throw the drones off your scent. And, as you so graciously just demonstrated, you're powerful. You're easily the most suspicious person I've come across here yet. Who's to say that you're not the mysterious killer? You realize that he's been floating gradually higher and higher in the air as he's talking to you until he's hovering over you almost predatorily. Shit, what have you done? If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get! His eyes light up a bright blue as a bright blue beam explodes the rock next to you. You turn tail and run, but he follows, trailing along behind you like some kind of angry helium balloon. He doesn't stop shooting at you. You can feel the lasers rush past you, rustling your hair and clothes as they cut through the air. Gosh, he's powerful! Takes your breath away. You'd be in awe if you weren't busy running for your life. You wish you had some sort of device that would measure just how powerful he is. Except, no, not really. On second thought, knowing his exact power level will probably be so frustrated that you'd immediately break whatever device that would call for with your bare hands. Yeah, we get the Dragon Ball Z joke. We get it. Alright, he even actually called it a scouter. As strong as he is, though, you can't help but notice that none of his shots are at all close to hitting you. It's more like he's trying to intimidate you, provoking you to fighting back. You have to get away from him as quickly as possible before any of his blasts actually connect. Before you know it, your scurrying feet have taken you back to where you started, the train station! Would you quit running around like a cluck beast with a severed think pan? You came on to me, and now you won't follow through? Get back here and fight! You seem to have managed to both pick a fight and hit on him simultaneously. Maybe he thinks you want that hate man space thing with him? God. You just wanted to be friends, and then you might have lost your temper a little. This is all just a big misunderstanding. Is it listening to you? Another blast zips past you, dangerously close to your ear this time. You scan the area frantically for cover. There! A structure near the tracks that looks like it might be some kind of mechanized ticket booth. You dive behind it. I'm growing impatient, alien. Cease this game of hunt and sequester and face me! A beam hits your makeshift shield, blowing a hole straight through it. You stumble backwards close to the tracks. Oh no. Fuck! This is it! You're gonna be murdered in cold blood by a guy who can shoot pure energy out of his eyes and there's nothing you can do about it. Squeeze your eyes shut, bracing for impact. All of a sudden there's a distant rushing sound. With all the running and laser dodging, you'd forgotten what this station was even for in the first place. The train's arriving. Maybe someone on it will be willing to help you? Not like Alternians seem to have a good track record of helping folk in need out of the goodness of their hearts, but damn it! It's the only chance you've got. Asdaya is distracted by the train's arrival for only a moment before returning towards you again. But then a figure climbs out of one of the train carriages, a figure that's large and hulking, and one that you recognize. Asdaya? The hell are you doing? Why are you attacking my friend? Friend? You know this glows for Sponge? Why didn't you tell me? They're the assassin I've been looking for. What? You idiot! They're no assassin. When I met them, they freaked out over our little blood. They've never even killed before. What? What other powers? Kodo squints at you like she's thinking very hard about what your more exceptional qualities might be. Well, they're pretty good at falling on their ass. And freaking out in the middle of a crisis. And being squishable. Isaiah's expression goes cold. His eyes stop flashing, but he still looks like he could kill you with his glare alone. I see. So that's why you were running away. You were lying. What an immature ruse. You can't help but feel a little bad for pulling the wool over his eyes, even though you were fearing for your life until just a few seconds ago. Isaiah seems to trust Kono's word implicitly. Now that you've been exposed as nothing but a regular Joe, he seems to have lost all interest in you. Kono, I was beginning to think you'd skipped out on this event. Of course not! I missed the Omniscuttle Caravan! And the desert has shitty reception, so I couldn't call. You know that. That's right. Well, I'm glad you made it. I've let myself get distracted by this peon for long enough. Let's go strive some losers own their nooks in battle and profit. Fuck yes! I'd love to stay and chat, kid, but there's a bunch of calls in that canyon with my name all over them. Later! You watch wistfully as they set off back towards the canyon. If only you hadn't lost your temper and lied out your ass like an idiot, you might have been walking along with them. Instead, you're here alone on the ground, new friendship having slipped through your fingers like all this desert sand. Should probably get off the train tracks though, my dude. Okay, so that's 2 bad endings. So we're back on track of how it usually works in this game. So that means we've got both of the bad endings, and there's 1 good ending, and it starts with being a distraction. Howdy! I'll be the best lackey ever! The title might not be much, but that doesn't mean you can't excel at it. You tell them you accept this offer. Excellent! By the way, I'm Isaiah Neelax. But you must have known that already. You're not sure why you would? Maybe some kind of big shot? Now to think of it, the name does ring a bell. You've heard it before when you were in the middle of infiltrating a bandit hideout with a mercenary. Kono! You've met my mate Sprit. You must have gotten on her good side or you wouldn't be standing here talking to me. Because you'd be minced into the ground finer than grub paste. He's grinning like he's really proud and fond of Kono being the sort of girl who'd make mincemeat out of someone as soon as speak to them. If he wasn't talking about her literally murdering you, you might find this reaction endearing. Hang on. If he has a partner, why isn't she here? Isaiah's expression sours abruptly. My partner isn't here because she didn't make our agreed upon rendezvous time. He says partner in an overdone, exasperated huff as if he thinks she might be listening from behind a boulder somewhere and he can somehow shame her to appearing. You remember what Polypa said about mercenary duos being quadrant pairs, i.e. romantically involved? Did his girlfriend stand him up? Yikes. Maybe it's better that you haven't been promoted to partner status if it meant getting involved in another couple spat. You get quiet enough for that already. You hope they aren't fighting. Isaiah glances at you, or glares at you. The exact nature of our quadrant is none of your business, frankly. Now come on. We're wasting time. He steps off the edge of the plateau, descending in a crackle of energy, floating you into the canyon along with him. It's a terrifying ride, but the view it affords you is pretty amazing. Soon you reach the bottom. We should keep going. There's someone else in this valley. We'll get the drop on them if we move fast. He grins confidently, his coat flapping behind him. There isn't any wind down here, though? Is he flapping his own coat with his sigh for dramatic effect? First blood to Neelax. You blink. Tentatively you repeat, blood? Yes! Blood! He says it the same way he enunciated the name of this competition earlier, like it should have been painfully obvious. Like I told you, our aim is to take out our opposition. Swiftly and painfully. To win, we have to be the last team standing in this entire canyon. Is this a freaking battle royale? Is this a DBZ joke that's also a battle royale joke? Weren't you listening when I explained earlier? God damn it. You've been proceeding under the assumption that this was some kind of elaborate competitive LARP, like solve some puzzles, get out of the giant canyon before the other guy type of deal? Perhaps arm wrestle your competitors into submission if you run into them, but no, this game involves actual violence. You probably shouldn't be surprised. You've been on Antonia long enough to discern that, boy, the trolls sure do love killing. You made friends with plenty of trolls who have less bloodthirsty hobbies, though. You ask him whether he's ever considered getting into excessive bodily force poetry or streaming sick beats. Please, you're kidding, right? Now's no time for joking around. Don't tell me you're already getting frosty strut pods. I can't work with someone with such a flimsy sense of conviction. You reassure him that, no, of course not, your strut pods are as toasty as all heck, but he's no longer paying attention to you as Scouter Glitz. There! He flashes past you before you can blink, riding the waves of his side to a collection of rocks sitting behind you. Target acquired. Nice try, thinking you could outsmart me by lying in wait and launching an ambush. Cowardly move, and sloppy. Very sloppy. Now prepare to get owned! Resistance is oh fuck. Abruptly Azaya freezes, you hesitate, unsure to what sort of threat you're dealing with here, but then a troll girl with a cerulean blue symbol on her shirt pops up from behind the rocks. She giggles menacingly, making Azaya turn towards you. His expression is blank, his nifty brain power is now under your competitor's control. To echo Azaya's sentiment, oh fuck. You need to do something fast! You have the harebrained thought that maybe you can grab Azaya and physically wrest him from her control. You launch yourself towards him in a mad dash, attempting to call out a chilling battle cry, but it goes out as more of a pathetically broken yell. The girl laughs again. Azaya's eyes flash brighter than you'd seen them so far, almost blinding. Oh hell, they are straight up eye lasers, aren't they? And they're really powerful, holy shit! You've met some strong trolls, but this kind of power is something else. If Azaya were a character in a video game and you were to assign him a quantifiable number to measure his power, some kind of level perhaps, that number would be, well, be very high is what all you're saying. Azaya's lasers shoot at a point above you, scoring a deep gash in the rock and sending rubble toppling downwards. You reach out, grabbing at Azaya's coat. You have to get out of here! The girl doesn't stop you, merely leaping out of the way of certain doom that's hurtling rapidly towards you. You think you see something out of the corner of your eye, some last-ditch hope at not getting squashed as flat as grub cake. You race towards it. Your first thought when you next open your eyes is that death has finally come to tenderly cradle you in its sweet, loving embrace. But you quickly realize that you're in a cave, not the afterlife, and that the reason you can even see anything right now is because the area around you is brightened by a light coming from Azaya's scouter. Through sheer dumb luck, you must have run towards the single safe spot in the entire ravine, this hole in the ground. It's as if this hole was sitting here, carved out of the rock, waiting to be your escape route. You might even say this hole was made for you. Fuck! You wince, covering your ears. Can you keep it down, maybe? Your nerves are a little shot from almost dying for the umpteenth time this week. No, I will not keep it down! Curses. Cannot believe this. Who does that blue blood think she is? Does she realize who she just messed with? Wow, he looks really mad. Instinctively, you reach out to execute the slow face pat that trolls seem to find so soothing, but he slaps your hand away. What do you think you're doing? I already told you I have a Moirail. You stammer out an apology, just seemed like the right thing to do. Plus, you thought Kono was his mate Sprit. He seems to realize what he just said. A hint of yellow touches his cheeks, just barely visible in the light. That's what I said! I already have a mate Sprit. You're pretty sure you heard him right the first time, and you're also pretty sure those are two different sorts of relationships, but you let the subject drop. No need to rile up your new friend more than he already is. Your shoosh pat might have been rejected, but the attempt seems to snap out of whatever pissed off funk he's gotten himself into. Let's get out of here. He follows the path of the cave. Can't he just blast you both out? Don't be stupid. If I did that, it would cause a cave-in. Are you that eager to get crushed? Good point. You're acting just like Konal. So ready to rush in without a game plan. If he means this as an insult, its effect is kind of lost. He sounds more wistful than irritated. Again, sorry about the sniffling. I just was sneezing several times before this, but I didn't want to let that stop the video from happening. You walk in silence for a while. As you make your way further into the cave, you realize that the walls aren't blank like you previously thought, but are covered in complicated carvings. Cave troll art, you wonder? I know what you're thinking. That life as a prince among trolls must be an enviable one. You snap to attention. Yes, of course! You were definitely thinking about him and his life story just then. I don't expect someone like you to understand. You're obviously a completely average person who will live out their life in perfect mediocrity, but not me. You don't know what it's like to be born so gifted. Completely average, that's you alright. You try your best to be sympathetic, having rad powers must make things really hard. What? No way, it's fucking awesome! But as you've clearly seen, it can attract unwanted attention from pathetic individuals who aren't nearly as talented themselves, who are desperate to have some unbeatable psionics in their corner. To be honest, the Empire is no different, and it's not like the Rebels are much better. Kono and I don't really care one way or the other. We're just here to off-chumps and get money. We look out for ourselves first and foremost. But eventually we'll be sent off planet to do the bidding of the Empress just like everyone else. Okay, you can see why having no say in the matter kinda sucks, but isn't there an opportunity to do cool shit in space too? Azaya's face draws up in a wry expression. Yeah, with someone else calling all the shots. You keep walking. It feels like hours to scout or flashes again. We're here. He lets the wall have it with his eye lasers. With a resounding roar, it crumbles away. Aside from the spot he destroyed, the rest of the cave is intact. Moonlight spills into the space through the impromptu exit. It's over. We were stuck down there so long that the game has ended. Meaning, your heart sinks. This was a disaster. He's definitely not going to want to be your friend after losing this competition he's so invested in. We're the last team standing, which makes us the winners. I knew it. That blue blood loser might have had a stroke of good luck, but she was no match for someone of my station. My victory was a foregone conclusion from the start. Bringing you along was an excellent idea. Your recklessness really came in handy back there. He's thanking you, you realize, or something close to it? Honestly, you assure him that it was no problem. A prince knows when to give credit where credit is due. Celebration is in order, I think. Once we collect our prize. There's a prize? Fuck yes! Duel Strikers offers an impressive cash reward to whoever wins. You get a cut as well, of course. Whoa, money! This is the first time you've laid your hands on the stuff since you crash landed. Maybe you'll be able to finally purchase a warm meal, or clothing visit from somebody else's closet. More than the money, though, is that you've proven that you aren't a complete fuck-up. You've earned Azdiah's trust and also his friendship. He is so painfully anime, but it's also okay. There's no telling how I would have reacted to Azdiah's character if not for the fact that I spent pretty much the last 24 hours almost exclusively watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Because, for whatever reason, when I was unable to record, that's what I decided to do. So, I guess... oh, the irony of that. Anyway, this has been Anachi Sasuke. This is episode 17 of Let's Play Hiveswap Friendship Simulator. In the next episode, we're going to check out the other half of Volume 9. So, if you liked it, like and a subscribe will be groovy. If you didn't, you need to do either one of those things. Apologies again about having the sniffles the whole time. And I will see y'all in the next one. Later.